By the 1970s, Atlantic shipping line Cunard had survived the birth of the jet age and was reorganizing its passenger fleet for cruising. Purchased by the giant Trafalgar House Company in 1971, Cunard's revolutionary ocean liner QE2 was joined by two new fleet mates, the Cunard Adventurer and the Cunard Ambassador. These small ships, at 14,100 gross tons, were originally ordered for overseas national airways, but Cunard acquired them and pushed them into service. This helped the Cunard brand expand into new markets, offering voyages to New York, Bermuda and Vancouver. But neither of these ships was as successful as Cunard had hoped for. They felt they were a little bit too small, so they ultimately were sold. However, Cunard now had a taste for the emerging modern cruise market and was keen to expand. This led to the acquisition of two larger ships, the 17,000 gross ton Cunard Countess and her sister ship the Cunard Conquest. Built in Denmark, the design of these ships was, like their predecessors, originally created by Overseas National Airways. Overseas National Airways intended for this larger duo to be floating playgrounds, unlike anything seen before. This ambition saw Playboy boss Hugh Hefner get involved in the original designs, with rumours circulating that the pair would offer a Playboy experience on board. Perhaps unsurprisingly, that venture fell through before it ever set sail. Because of this, Cunard saw an opportunity and swooped in to acquire the two ships, towing the incomplete hulls to Italy to complete their construction. The first ship, Cunard Countess, was christened by Janet Armstrong, the first wife of astronaut Neil Armstrong. The second ship, Cunard Conquest, was renamed before her launch and christened as the Cunard Princess by Princess Grace of Monaco, which is another royal christening that Cunard can add to its long and prestigious list. From 1976, the Cunard Countess was deployed to the Caribbean, sailing from Miami, while the Cunard Princess focused on voyages from Fort Lauderdale from 1977 and would also prove popular in Mediterranean cruising. Though small by today's standards, these ships literally helped write the book on modern cruising, introducing features and facilities that we now take for granted. Their design included a wide open top deck, complete with a swimming pool and a Lido-style eatery, with a large aft-facing indoor-outdoor buffet area, as well as a central main restaurant, a show lounge with a dance floor, and a shopping promenade. Externally, both vessels sported a white livery with distinctive Cunard red speed stripe and a swept-back funnel adorned with the Cunard colours. It's fair to say that the Cunard Countess and Cunard Princess redefined the Cunard cruising experience and settled into a comfortable routine of 4-star cruising. But the ships also answered the call of duty. In 1982, the Cunard Countess was used by the British government to transport troops between Ascension Island and the Falkland Islands following the British victory in the Falklands Campaign. Her fleetmate, the Cunard Princess, saw military service as well during the Gulf War in the early 90s as a recreation ship for troops in the Middle East. Following Cunard's 1993 joint venture with Crown Cruise Line, the Countess and Princess were marketed under the Cunard Crown banner. They joined the newer Cunard Crown Jewel and Cunard Crown Dynasty, offering affordable casual cruises. Despite their advancing age, both ships enjoyed a loyal following. However, the mid-1990s saw Cunard enter turbulent times as its owner, Trafalgar House, navigated a financial storm that ultimately led to its decline. As a result, the Cunard fleet was reorganized and the Cunard Princess left the fleet in 1995. The ship was sold to Star Laro and renamed Rasfidi, running cruises as a replacement for the Achille Laro, which had been lost to a fire in 1994. The Cunard Countess remained with the Cunard fleet a little bit longer until 1996, when she too was sold, this time to Awani Cruises and renamed Awani Dream 2. The ship was later sold to Royal Olympic Cruises as the Olympic Countess, before jumping between several operators, ultimately landing what seemed to be a permanent gig with CMV in 2012 as the Ocean Countess. However, she only stayed with CMV for 2 years as a fire ended her career and the ship was scrapped in 2014 after 37 years of service. The Cunard Princess lasted a bit longer, sailing for the newly rebranded MSC Cruises and remaining with them until 2009. She later sailed for Mano Marine on the Mediterranean circuit as the Golden Iris. Cruising into 2018, the ship was laid up and ultimately sold for scrapping during the COVID-19 shutdown in 2021, 44 years after her first voyage. This brings to a close a remarkable chapter in Cunard's history, the story of two ships that hardly anyone speaks of today, but which were as important to the Cunard fleet of the 1980s and 1990s as the modern Cunard queens are to the fleet today. And to think, Cunard once had ships that were inspired by Hugh Hefner. That's quite a difference from the current Cunard fleet, that's for sure. Thanks as always to our channel members who help make these videos possible. And if you've done a cruise on either of these ships or you want to relive your cruising memories, check out the cruise maps, where you can find custom cruise maps showing your exact voyage thanks to AIS data. And if you use my promo code, you get a discount. And don't forget to subscribe to my Substack for exclusive maritime history articles and stories straight to your inbox. Have you sailed with either of these ships? Let us know what it's like in the comments below, and until next time, I hope to see you on board.